Well, I just got through watching El Camino on Netflix. It's a Breaking Bad film, basically. And basically, I won't give a lot of spoilers right this second, but I'll kind of just lead up to it. I say it's really well done. It's an excellent film. It's a little bit slower burn than a lot of Breaking Bad episodes. But if you want to know what happens to Jesse Pinkman, literally minutes after the ending of Breaking Bad, this is a film to watch. So from this point forward, I'm going to talk about spoilers. But I would say if you're a Breaking Bad fan, go watch it first, come back, listen to my review, and then we'll kind of dive into this film. So now the spoilers are going on. El Camino is basically a great character study of Jesse Pinkman, done a few moments after the end of Breaking Bad, the TV series, and I think we all kind of had questions. Where did Jesse go? What did Jesse do? We all knew that Walter White had been killed, died, but what happened to him? What happened to some of the other characters as well? So since I'm talking about spoilers in here, we do see there's a little bit of an introduction of Jesse talking to Mike. A flashback. There's a bunch of flashbacks in there. There's a flashback with his girlfriend that died. There's a flashback to scenes with Todd in it, how he's being tortured basically, and all the things that went on with that as well, leading up to this one day of events that leads on to him finding some money to be able to get out of town. And also there's a big flashback with, of course, Walter White in there. And if I were to sum this film up, it really is a character study. It's showing what's going on, kind of the thought process of Jesse just being shell shocked after being caged up, literally in a cage, and being seeing his girlfriend getting murdered right in front of his face, and the threatening of her son getting killed that keeps him there making meth for these gangsters and whatnot. And so it's a script put together really well. It's well thought out. The script is fantastic. Every acting in there is amazing. I mean, better than a lot of Hollywood films I see. Just amazing acting going on in there. The very beginning when he goes to Skinny Pete's and Badger's house. Of course, they're funny characters, and it works out. But it's really heartbreaking how much they're willing to give of themselves to help Jesse out. And it was really quite, they knew how much he suffered, and they wanted to help his friend out. And I love that they actually would use the vacuum cleaner guy to escape. I thought that was a really cool callback, definitely. I was hoping to see Saul, because I'm a big, Better Call Saul fan. I'm very, Saul Goodman. I'm a really big fan of his. I wish he would have had a nice little cameo or something in there. But really, honestly, it would have been really hard to fit. And to me, this was a very satisfying film. Jesse, talking to Mike at the beginning of the film, what would you do if you were my age and whatnot? I mean, he said, go to Alaska, and he's, finally gets to escape to Alaska and with a different name, and he basically can go on with his life and everything. And pretty much every little thing is kind of pinged throughout the whole story and film. Like I said earlier, it is a slow burn. It's a character study, kind of similar, not the same thing, but it's a character study kind of like how Joker is. And it really shows what a great actor, he is, playing Jesse Pinkman and whatnot. So Aaron did a fantastic job on there. And of course, everybody did a fantastic job. That's the thing about Breaking Bad. And the writing, the directing, the visuals, everything just works really well. It feels like an episode of Breaking Bad. I won't say it doesn't look cinematic, because everything in there looks cinematic, but it has its characteristic of what Breaking Bad looks like. So it looks fantastic. It's a great film. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, you'll enjoy it. If you don't know anything about Breaking Bad, you can still watch it and appreciate what's going on. But there's a little flashback at the beginning of it. You can watch for like a 3-minute. Sums up Breaking Bad like in 3 minutes, at least the point of Jesse's life, and then you can watch the rest of the film there. But it's the acting, the story, even though it's a slow burn, there isn't like 10 bazillion explosions going on or car chases going on, but there's a couple of scenes like when they're tracking the El Camino, and it looks like 100 police cars going by. I don't know how they got that many police cars. Maybe they're going around in circles or something like that, because there sure was a lot of cars going in chasing that. And I love the idea that Skinny Pete was willing to take the hit for his friend and whatnot. This great. This shows the friendships that he had, even though these are drug dealers and drug users in this particular script here as well. So fantastic filmmaking, fantastic storytelling, and this is one of the reasons why streaming services like Netflix are going to survive, is because I go see Hollywood films that aren't this good, and this is something you can watch at your house. I have been looking forward to this since I heard it was coming out. I'm glad they kind of kept it on the down low until it was practically there. So I'm very happy to see it. I recommend this film highly. I give it a way thumbs up. See it right now on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, get Netflix. Do the 30-day trial, or find somebody has Netflix and watch it with them. And it's fantastic. See this now. I'm going to watch it a bunch of times. I already went back and watched a couple of little scenes in there, and just the acting and writing. It really shows you when they have a writing room, and when they pitch ideas for different scenes and things are connected together. Talk about everything just clicking to tie everything up in a very satisfying way. When you see Jesse driving off in a suburban up going towards Alaska, and the future, it's the last frontier, and the future is whatever he wants to make it. He's got like $300,000, I guess, or maybe a little bit more going up there, maybe $600,000. And my mind said he'll go get a job, probably just kick it for a little bit and maybe eventually go get a job. And there's certain things like he's talking to Walt about going to college, and I love that Walt forgot that he said, well, you need to get a GED first. I said, man, you hand me my diploma. You were there on the stage. So that was some really funny scenes in there, and also a lot of heartbreaking scenes as well going on in there. So pretty much everything makes sense on it. It's done very, very well. I'm a big Breaking Bad fan because I'm a really big fan of great writing and tremendous acting. You see Bryan Cranston there, just always spot on, and of course all the other actors, they're just fantastic actors as well. So if you want to have a great character study, watch Netflix, watch it at home, get some friends together, get some popcorn, have a great time, have a Breaking Bad party basically, watch El Camino. It's a great film. And really, when I heard about this thing, I thought, well, maybe he's just going to be driving that El Camino all the way up to Alaska or something like that, and maybe he'll run into Saul, or maybe there'd be car chases going on and all that stuff. And you know what? That's not Breaking Bad. It's always about the story. It's always about the character. It's always about what can we do. And it is a slow burn. Could this have been an hour episode? I think it could have. Really, honestly, I think you could chop this thing down to a 45-minute episode, an hour, 50-minute episode, and it would be, riveting. However, because I'm such a big fan of Breaking Bad, I kind of like the slow 2-hour burn going on, and something's going to happen, and it leads up to it, and finally, we talk about in script writing, you have something going on, throw rocks, throw more rocks, throw more rocks, and hopefully at some point, if you care about the characters, they succeed. And when we see Jesse free in Alaska, after all the amount of money he had to get and how he had to get this and get there and whatnot, to me it was very satisfying. So once again, El Camino, 2 thumbs up. Go see it right now if you got Netflix, and if you're a Breaking Bad fan, see it. I think they're going to show it on AMC at some point, and I think it's in the Alamo Draft House. I think it was out today there. But I wanted to see this thing as fast as possible, and of course put a review for you because I know you love these reviews. As always, rock and roll, of course, it does compute. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel because that would totally compute. Computed, y'all. Yeah.